Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, councillors. It's 7:30 on the 10th of December at the Barn Green Room DCC, and it's the Planning Committee this evening. Item 1 on the agenda is apologies. To receive any apologies?
Yeah, I've had apologies from Councillor Bevan, Councillor Selway and Councillor Harrison.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item 2 on the agenda is declarations of interest arising from this agenda. Members and officers are invited to declare any relevant interest. Notwithstanding this item, members may subsequently declare an interest at any point during the meeting. Do we have any declarations of interest? Councillor Bowden.
Just on one of the planning applications, he's my accountant, so I will match it.
Brilliant, thank you. Any other declarations of interest?
Can I ask which one that is?
It's the one for the coffee shop.
Application 1. Yeah, sorry. Okay, item 3 on the agenda is the minutes of the previous meeting. To receive and confirm the accuracy of the minutes of the Planning Committee meeting held on the 19th of November 2025. Is everybody happy with the accuracy and for me to sign? Lots of hand, thank you. Item 4 on the agenda is the Planning Committee Project Report. To receive and review the project report from the committee clerk.
No updates.
No updates. No. That's fine. Okay, on to item 5 on the agenda is the public participation. The meeting will recess for not more than 15 minutes to allow any members of the public to address the meeting in respect of items on the agenda.
The Parish Council, via this committee, comments and makes recommendations on planning applications affecting the parish. Proceedings during the public session, which will only exceed 15 minutes in exceptional circumstances, must remain under the control of the chairman, to whom all questions and comments on applications or other planning matters must be addressed. All comments on planning applications should be made to the head of planning management at Winchester City Council.
Okay. Do any members of the public wish to address council this evening? Nobody wishes to speak? No? No? Okay, that's fine. Okay. We'll close the public participation and move on to item 6 on the agenda, which is planning applications. To consider and make comment on the planning applications received from Winchester City Council and any other authority in respect of applications appertaining to the parish of Denmead, as set out in the list of planning applications to be considered. Okay. Application 1 is Kenilworth Hambledon Road, Denmead, which is the repositioning of an existing external vending unit and change of use of the building to a mixed use comprising of offices and a coffee shop. Have you all had a chance to have a look at the application at home? Okay. So yeah, it's a micro cafe. It currently sits outside in the parking area. The location is down near the vets, near the surgery, that end of the village. And the cafe, I think, if I remember, is Henry's Coffee Shop. Yep. They just wish to move that facility inside. Got a little introduction here. The property in question, Kenilworth, is a semi-detached building situated on the south side of Hambledon Road in the village of Denmead, Hampshire. It operates as a well-established professional accountant's office. This business has also extended to the adjoining property known as St Margaret's. Kenilworth currently has the following internal layout: the ground floor, three number offices, a staff room, staff toilets, a staff entrance lobby, a main reception access area, and the first floor consists of 3 offices, a main meeting room, a secondary meeting area. Also to the front of the site is a pop-up mobile vending unit that offers coffee and refreshments, which is the Henry's Coffee Shop. This has been successfully operating for a number of years and is well supported by the local community and also the Denmead Parish Council, as we stated a couple of months ago. Remember when it once came here and we supported. So the proposal of the application highlights the proposal to retain the facility on site but to replace the mobile vending unit with an internal sheltered microcafe. This will be positioned within the existing building, positioned where the current staff entrance lobby is located. It will be totally separated from the current office space. Landscaping, there will be no effect on the existing landscape appearance. Existing elevations to the building will be unaltered. Another note is there will be no internal seating, so that will still be outside. There are the facts. Council, any comments? Any views? Councillor Berry?
Go ahead and agree with it and say that we've got no objections.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just as a point, in August 2024, there was a proposal for a garage conversion to form a florist, and we commented the fact that Denmead Parish Council wishes to support new businesses in Denmead. So I think we should, going off of that, Councillor Ranger.
Yeah, I would support Councillor Berry's comment. I think supporting the local business is number one. And I think the fact is that there's no declaration of internal seating and there's no amendments outside. I think, I fully would support it as well.
Okay, I'd like to turn that into proposal then, that we support the application and that I add a condition perhaps that the internal seating to remain non-existent. So that's a condition, that there can't be no internal seating, if council's happy with my proposal. Seconded by Councillor Ranger. Okay, may I have a show of hands all in favour of that proposal? Thank you very much. And of course, Councillor Bowden abstained from that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. There we go. All right. Yeah, you're more than welcome to stay or now that your application's done. You can. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Just taking any questions.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, we're happy with that. So that's fine. Thank you very much. That's all right.
Got that coffee?
Yes. Now we know. That's right. Thank you. Okay. Application 2 is Soap Farm, Soap Road, the proposed brownfield regeneration development comprising of the demolition of existing office and ancillary buildings on the site, conversion of existing industrial warehouse and the construction of 7 non-private residential properties consisting of 2 and 5 3-bedroom houses, 7 in total, all with allocated parking spaces, hard and soft landscaping and amended site access. Okay. Now bring this up on the screen. So that's where we are for people that are a little unsure. There's the map. There's the coach next door, Stoke Road. So this is up near Jewson's and Bing's Business Park, that sort of area. There's Jewson's, perhaps. Is it Jewson's? It is, isn't it? We're just over there. Okay, and this is the proposed. This is Soap Farm here. Okay, let's do some other photos and then we're going to discussion. Like that. So these are actually borrowed and taken from the site, from the application previous that came. So we're just using the same images to let you know the Soap Road. All right. Okay, there's been no public objection, but there has been one public comment supporting the application. And this application itself was referred to the design review panel, which took place yesterday at Winchester with Mike Patton, just for your information. And that takes us to the photos, etc. Council's view. Tony? Councillor Berry?
Yeah, I find it difficult because if you knock down that building, that's right on the corner, and as everybody knows, that road's very narrow, and having this much traffic on it, it's going to be dangerous because you come around that corner, they got where the big metal gates are, you come around that corner, and it's tight there, and if someone's coming out there, you're just going to go into it. I think it's too dangerous having that many dwellings there.
Other councillors? If not, yeah, Councillor Ranger.
Two things. I think for the benefit of the council, for those of you that are not familiar with it, this is a second application that has been submitted, because the earlier one, the previous one, was back in 2024, I believe, and I think the appeal and I think the supporting notes went out to the council in terms of the reasons for the objection then. The difference, as far as I can work out, Chair, is that it's now for 7 properties versus 9, which was the original application.
5 internal, 2 external.
Yeah. And reading the planning inspectorate's document that was published back then and recently circulated by the clerk, there are still some significant reasons to object that haven't changed in the recent application, in terms of contrary to some of the boundaries and some of the aesthetics, in terms of the what it looks like on the community, the outlook on the street, etc., etc. And I also would support Councillor Berry on the basis that the road is bad at the best of times, and with another 7 houses potentially, plus vehicles as well, plus the traffic as well. I don't see anything that's materially changed, which would suggest that we need to adjust from where we were last time around.
So, if there's any other comments from councillors, if not, I'll give my opinion and view. So the application, demolition and redevelopment at Soap Farm. This application seeks permission for the demolition and redevelopment of existing structures at Soap Farm in multiple dwellings. My view is this application is extremely harmful on the following grounds: the strategic policy conflict, harm to Denmead Waterlooville strategic gap. There's a question about gaps now. Direct conflict with the Denmead neighbourhood plan, direct conflict with the Denmead village design statement, unassessed and serious flood risks, the hydrological and groundwater dangers, environmental and ecological harm, including risks to the priority habitats and fauna, inadequate and misleading technical documentations, missing some reports, failure to comply with the National Planning Policy Framework, which is the NPPF. The proposal would reduce both the physical and visual openness of the strategic gap, introduce a new built-up projection into the countryside, set a dangerous precedent for future erosion of protected land. Taken together, these issues form an overwhelming planning case for objection, in my view, and will cause irreversible harm. There's some policies which will also, good to quote, relevant policy conflicts is the Local Plan Part 1 policy, which is the CP18, which states development will not be permitted where it physically or visually diminishes the separation between settlements. Also to note is also CP20, which is the heritage and landscape character, so they will be greatly impacted. Winchester District Local Plan Part 2 policy, DM23, refers to the rural character, environmental and hydrological constraints, which source protection zone, which is the SPZ1, flood risks to localised plains. The Denmead Neighbourhood Plan, DNP, conflicts policy 1, which is development outside the settlement boundary, will not be supported. Our policy 3, which is the rural range and countryside setting, must be protected. And policy 5, development must respect rural character and avoid suburb. I can never say that word. Go for it, Lucy.
Annexation?
That's it, thank you. Policy 7, which is the landscape setting, must be conserved. And the infrastructure concern, the Soap Road is a single carriage route, in my opinion, unsuitable for the scale of this development proposed and listed in a boundary restrict set by Winchester in their local plan. It will fundamentally alter the characteristic of the village. In the long-term, request for committee referral is what I would suggest. That's my view. So, councillors?
I would propose that we strongly object.
And ask it to go to committee.
Based on your notes and your description, Chair.
And plus the roadway.
Sorry?
and plus the road.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I think the Chair mentioned the road as well, so,
Yeah.
Councillor Barry, but yeah, I think to take Chair's notes and a strong objection, I recommend.
So your proposal is a strong objection
Strong objection, I recommend a
to include what I've
to
just
include
read
your-
out. Yeah.
to include the Chair's notes
Okay.
accordingly, so I think you've highlighted everything, or summarised everything, sorry.
Mhm.
I'll second that.
Okay, Councillor Berry second that. So, yeah, if committee's happy, I will pass you these notes afterwards. Okay, off the slate. Right, we have a proposer and a seconder. May I have a show of hands, please, with a strong objection on the notes that I've just read out? That's unanimous, and then it goes to the Winchester Committee. I think it might get through that before that. But, worth a shot. Brilliant. Okay. That's that one done. Close that off. Shut this down before my battery dies. Okay, on to application 3, which is 32 Little Corner Denmead, the installation of an air source heat lamp. So, just shut it down. I could have shown you the drawings actually. So for those of you that haven't know, at the rear of the property, or 32 Little Corner, they're looking to put a heat lamp installation in. Pump. It's there. Okay. There's been no comments currently made public. To begin with, it all looked pretty okay until it came to the sounds. So a sound test was conducted. The assessment position of the sound test was the first floor window on the right to the adjacent property, which is 34. So their window, their house is here, there's their window. And there's the box down here. And it failed the sound test. So when it starts up, when you first start it up, it went to 62 decibels. And then when it levelled out, it went to 39. So it failed the test. So final sound pressure level, 39 decibels, which is non-compliant. This assessment follows the MCS 020 planning standard for heat pumps. The maximum permitted sound level at assessment position should be 37, so it was over by 2. So I think on those grounds, in my opinion, I would object. That's my opinion, but it's up to council if you wish to discuss and input. Councillor Ranger first, and Councillor Bowden.
I'm in two minds on this one. A to support the installation of heat source pumps anyway as a means of goodness for the climate, etc., etc. However, I think earlier this year we actually rejected an application for a air source heat pump because of the noise and the location. I mean, French's Field, I believe. And as a result, I think, whilst it might not have been a precedent because it was one, I think we need to be very conscious of if it has failed the sound test already,
Yeah,
maybe it just needs to be repositioned.
I think so.
So,
I think
and
that
then
might-
that would be maybe okay. But in the current situation, I would object to that unless the sound test could prove to be within tolerance. And
At the moment,
if
it
it
doesn't.
means it's got to be moved somewhere along the back of the property, then so be it.
Mhm.
That would be my.
That could be a possible fix for the, any other councillor, any inputs? Sorry, it was Councillor Bowden next, and then Councillor Lewington, you second.
So I'm assuming the application is just for a air source heat pump rather than a particular brand. So there's a quieter option.
I have no idea. I don't know. There might be quieter ones out there. That would be up to them to source or research.
Just 62 decibels, range 60 to 65 decibels, the same as an office conversation. That gives you an idea of how loud it is.
Ah, yeah, especially when it starts.
Yeah, no, true.
But like Councillor Ranger said, it might just need slightly repositioning if they apply.
It's
Councillor.
not a committed development.
Councillor Lee?
I just wanted to check what the actual rules on denying or approving heat pumps, and I believe there have been some recent changes in the powers to detail and planning grounds have been reduced?
Practically, they're okay. It's just because it's sound, which is the main. I think. Yeah, sound is the only real reason where it would fail. And of course, they had the assessment and it has. Other than that, if it wasn't, it would be fine. And it's ground level as well, which is suitable rather than up high. Just a little bit too close to. That's my opinion. It all depends on how council feel. Your opinion might be different to mine. So, Councillor Ranger.
I would propose that we object to the current application, suggesting that either they source, excuse the pun, they source a different heat pump with a different sound tolerance, or move it accordingly for us to reconsider.
Okay. So you're objecting on the grounds of the non-compliant sounds?
Correct.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Councillor Berry, second. Thank you. May I have a show of hands all in favour of that proposal? That's unanimous. Thank you. Yeah, that's may well be what they do. It's just move along. Thank you very much. That's pardon. Yeah, because then they might be next too close to one bit. They put it in the middle. Okay, that's the applications done. Thank you very much. Okay, item 7 on the agenda is decisions received. To note, there have been no decisions received since the last meeting. And at item 8 on the agenda is new planning applications. Lucy?
One.
Just the one. And item 9 is social media, to discuss and determine on action of what content could be added to the Parish Council social media channels. Councillor Ranger?
We normally
That's
the recommendations from the parish would be viewed.
I think that's pretty much standard, so other than that, nothing else?
Nothing else.
Okay. Just a standard list, thank you. Item 10 on the agenda is matters for the next agenda. To receive any matters for the next agenda from anybody? No. Okay. Item 11 is the confidential report to pass a resolution in accordance with the Public Bodies Act 1960 to exclude